Are we live?
We are almost live. We are counting down the seconds, and I believe we are live. Matt, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2021 Power of Purple, the Purple Day live stream event. How are you all doing? I am your host, Mat Ricardo, coming to you all the way from London, England. That is London, England, the real London, not some cheap Ontario knockoff. It is true that Purple Day for Epilepsy Awareness was started in Canada by a young Canadian by the name of Cassidy Megan back in 2008. But nowadays, it is celebrated all over the world, including right here on your screen in front of you right now, wherever you are watching this from. Hello. Purple Day today is all about coming together to celebrate those who live with epilepsy, those who love them, and raising awareness about epilepsy with everyone else. So if you fit into any of those categories, and you do, then you're in the right place. We have an amazing live stream event coming up for you today, which will include music and dance and animation and much more. All of the artists featured on today's broadcast have a few things in common. Number one, they are very talented. Number two, they are very passionate. And number three, they all have lived experience with epilepsy. Even me, your humble but beautifully dressed host, had my first seizure in my teens. So it means a lot to me personally to be involved in the kind of thing that, honestly, I wish I'd been aware of when I was a little younger. Now, even though this is a virtual show, we do have an audience here on Zoom along for the ride. So if you don't mind, I'd like to kick things off by showing you just a little trick, a little feat of manual dexterity, just to get you warmed up and see if you can give us some energy back. So what I'm going to do is, and this is a little weird, but stick with me. I'm going to move my camera down. Come with me. And now I'm just going to, okay. That's not a flattering shot, is it? Oh boy, no, let's, okay, so that's there. Now I know this is currently looking a little weird, but stick with me. So what I have here are 4 glasses. I'm going to position those so you can see them clearly. I have a sheet of Perspex that's going to go on top of the glasses. I have some rolled up playing cards. This is all going to make sense in a second. There we go. And finally, and if this works, you better clap because I'll be impressed. Golf balls. Now this little trick to kick off this Purple Day live stream is very simple. I have to hit the Perspex hard enough so that all 4 golf balls drop into all 4 glasses. If they do, virtual audience, I expect clapping and cheering. If they don't, I expect clapping and cheering. Okay. It's about now that I'm realizing I really should have warmed up. Now I'm going to put this back up because otherwise you're just looking at my tie for the whole live stream, and that's super weird. Okay. I heard you and saw you laughing and clapping. That was brilliant. All of our artists will enjoy hearing and seeing that as we get on with the live stream. But I think we're ready for our first guest. Now, our first guest, I'm lucky because I've seen this already, so I know what a treat you're in for. She is a performer. She is a dancer. So now we're going to see her dance. This is Isabel Estrada.
Hi everybody, this is Isabel. I am a dancer and a dance teacher, and I'm really excited to be performing for you today to show the power of Purple Day in support of Epilepsy Toronto. The dance piece you're about to watch is called Cafecito, Little Coffee, and it's a solo version of a work I did on a quartet a few years ago. The music that you're going to hear is by a really good friend of mine from Guatemala. His name is Fernando Perez, and his music is titled Conversación para dos, Conversation for Two. I would like to dedicate this dance piece to my mom and to everybody who is struggling with epilepsy right now. Please don't give up on your dreams. There is a way to overcome the challenges. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Isabel, that was fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Happy Purple Day.
Happy Purple Day.
Thank you. Happy Purple Day.
Okay, so let's talk epilepsy, Isabel. So how old were you?
Sorry, Matt, can you repeat that? I think that you were muted for a second there.
Is this better?
There you are.
There we go. Isabel, how old were you when you had your first seizure?
I was 22.
22. And I mean, I think we're kind of similar. We're both performers that you know, you're a professional dancer. You've toured all over the world. You've taught dance. So that brings with it a certain set of unique challenges to do that while living with epilepsy. So what are those challenges?
Well, I would say for me, the main challenge is physical exhaustion. I mean, as a dancer, you get extra tired. And that was a very big challenge for me. I had to be very careful what kind of jobs I was taking. You know, it wasn't always, I'm gonna dance from 8 in the morning until 8 at night and like nothing else matters. I had to really put myself first and take care of myself. But that also helped me to pick the right jobs and to, you know, overcome the challenges and do a good job and continue to have a career in dance.
Yeah, absolutely. You dedicated that performance to your mother. You want to tell us about that?
I do. Well, my mom is watching right now. Hola, mami. And my parents don't live here with me. So when I was diagnosed, I think that it was really hard for my mom to be away and not be able to be here with me while I was struggling with epilepsy at the beginning. So she's always been my biggest fan, my biggest supporter. And there's one thing that she's always said to me, and it's dance for you, you know, dance for yourself. And that's kind of become my mantra over the years, because as a performer, there's that pressure of having to do it perfect every time, you know, and there's so many eyes watching you all the time. And when I say that to myself, you know, dance for you, and I think of my mom, it kind of takes the pressure off, and it just allows me to keep enjoying it and to keep doing it regardless of the seizures and the tiredness and the medications and all the other stuff that comes with epilepsy.
Fantastic. I couldn't imagine a better way to kick off this live stream. Long may you continue dancing for you. Everyone watching, one more time, Israel Estrab.
Thank you.
Okay, so, oh yes, now we have something. We have something very exciting. See, not only do we have performances in this live stream, but we also will be sharing videos from you. Anyone who entered the Power of Purple video contest has a chance to win. This must be a misprint. 1,000 cold dollars. Every entry has an equal shot of that money. Does that also include me? Because I'm currently on video. I'm being told it doesn't include me. Yep. We will be randomly drawing a winner and announcing who it is right here later in this broadcast. But first, we're going to show you some of the videos that were shared with us answering the question, what does Purple Day mean to you? And while you're watching those, for all of you watching on the live stream, we invite you to tell us what Purple Day means to you by writing it on the comments on Facebook or in the chat on Zoom. Let's take a look at some of those videos, and who better to start things off than the founder of Purple Day, Cassidy Megan herself. Take a look.
Hi everyone, Cassidy Megan, founder of Purple Day. I want to talk a bit about what Purple Day means to me. To me, Purple Day is a day that belongs to us. A day where we can talk about our epilepsy and make it a norm. Educate the public what epilepsy is, how to help, and that we are the same as they are. Epilepsy doesn't make us any different. We can still live a normal life. You guys are warriors and champions, and you're not alone in this battle, and I can't stress that enough. Together, we can change the world and make a difference in the lives of those living with epilepsy. Over the years, you guys have done so much, and I could not be prouder. Thank you.
Guys, it's Adam. What Purple Day means to me is, for the first time in a long time, being a person of epilepsy, I feel seen. for the whole month of March. There isn't a lot of media attention that comes to epilepsy, so when March comes around, it makes me so emotional because I've tried my entire life to bring education and learning through online video to educate people on epilepsy, and to see how far it's come to now, it's just amazing. It makes me so proud for the first time to say that I have epilepsy. That's what Purple Day means to me. It means that we can be seen.
Hi, my name is Emily, and as a person living with epilepsy, Purple Day is really important to me because it's a way to raise awareness for it and to bring attention to all of the different types of seizures that people can have so that everyone can be safe. And also because it's a way to support other people living with epilepsy and just to be heard as a person living with epilepsy.
I'm 6 years old and I have epilepsy. I have headaches at night and I take a medication and I go to the hospital. I'm a kid like you and me.
My name is Stephanie Daw. I am 24 years old and I have had epilepsy for almost 9 years now. Purple Day means so much to me. I didn't know about Purple Day only until a few years ago, but every single year all of my family and friends, it's tradition now, all my family and friends, whenever they wear purple, they send a picture of me or a selfie wearing purple. And I always post it on Facebook and Instagram just to get the news out and just to get everybody knowing what epilepsy means and what Purple Day means to me. Having a great epileptologist located in Etobicoke, Dr. Berkovici, has been amazing to me, and this year it means so much to me because I will be seizure-free. I am almost a year seizure-free. And that's why this Purple Day on March 26th, it'll mean so much to me as I am still battling epilepsy every single day. But I just love that all the proceeds go towards research, and I love funding epilepsy every single day.
Hi, my name is Kellyanne, and yes, I have epilepsy. What does Purple Day mean to me? It means that epilepsy is being recognized the same way that Down syndrome is being recognized by World Down Syndrome Day. It means that maybe one day people with epilepsy won't feel they have to hide it unless they want to. See you when that day comes.
Being a mom of 3 children, single mom at that, it's not that easy, but grace of God, I've been able to just keep trucking it. So got that smile on my face. I was just living a normal life, just going to work full time, coming home, doing my daily chores with my children. And unfortunately, situation occurred. I left work, about to approach the bank. I got out of my car, went into the bank, and the little tingling sensation started to come on. And at that point, I started swaying left to right. Thank God there was an angel beside me. There was a lady that seen me going, back and forth, and she came behind me, held me, and laid me down. At that point, I blacked out. I had no clue what happened. I literally just woke up in an ambulance, probably about 10 minutes after I collapsed in the bank, not aware of what was actually going on. My whole life changed. The doctor advised me that my license is going to get suspended, and that was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Literally at that point I couldn't work because with seizures and the job that I was doing, I'm around heavy machinery and stuff like that. So for my safety, I had to kind of make the decision to stay home at that point, although I wanted to go back to work. When I first started, having my license being taken away from me, my job taken away from me, I felt like life was done. But I looked at it where I realized that this all happened for a reason. I was that type of person that I just keep going. I can't stop, can't stop. And this, by the grace of God, I feel like it was my time to slow down. And it gave me a different outlook on life. So when I first had to discuss or explain to my daughters exactly what epilepsy was and the seizures, they had a lot of questions, and it was hard as a parent trying to give them all of the information that they necessarily needed. So sitting down there and listening to their questions for, say, okay, mommy, if you should have a seizure, what does it look like? My younger daughter, she's 9. She doesn't know anything about this. So I would say, okay, mommy would probably start gazing or just stop talking. If at that point, always ask mommy, are you okay? Are you okay? Do you need anything? And when I would have a seizure, they do. So just sitting down there and explaining to my children exactly what to do in certain events, if I should have a seizure, how to protect them, how to protect myself, and to not feel scared. Not feel scared. Be brave. You're there for mommy. Mommy's there supporting you guys. You guys need to support mommy too. I am still able to live a normal life. As people think when you have seizures, your license gets suspended, all this stuff happens. But you know what? Stronger than that, I got back my license, got back my life, and now I'm basically transitioning back into the workforce to put out what I feel my true purpose is, and that is to be at service to people and to help people and to educate people in various situations, different matters, specifically towards what I've been through. And I can just say that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. No matter what situation you're in, whether it's good or bad, there's always a silver lining at the end of it. So we can still live. You can still live no matter what you go through.
There's someone in the chat here on Zoom saying that those videos are making them very emotional, and yeah, I'm right there with you. The final video in that montage, as I'm sure you gathered, was not actually part of the contest, but was in fact shot last year as part of an epilepsy awareness campaign that got a little delayed due to a certain international pandemic that you may have heard about. But we are more than happy to share Shonette's story with you now. We have another one of those videos to share with you later. And remember, you can tell us what Purple Day means to you by adding a comment in the comments section on Facebook or in the chat if you're here on Zoom. And now it's time for our next guest, musician, artist, animator. It's Bruce Brunton.
Hello.
Hey, Bruce. Happy Purple Day.
Yes, happy Purple Day.
Okay, so we're going to see something that you've made in a minute, but before we get there, can you tell us what it was like, how it felt when you were first diagnosed with epilepsy?
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago now, and it was very sudden. I started just kind of waking up, not knowing what had happened, and it was really hard at first, just to accept it and to believe that that's even what was happening. And then, just like everyone else has been saying, it was really hard to work. It was really hard to do anything that I wanted to do. I didn't have any time, between hospital visits and doctor visits and just dealing with the seizures themselves. It was very, very difficult to find the time to just feel normal. So this is huge to be able to do this and be able to actually submit something that I spent time working on. And yeah, hopefully you guys like it.
I think we probably will. So tell us about what we're going to see.
Yeah, it'll just be an animated kind of music video type thing that I made for a song that I recorded about a month and a half ago. And it's kind of like, it's not exactly just about epilepsy, but it's about overcoming adversity and dealing with difficulties in your life. And the animation is very much about epilepsy. So
fantastic. So just before we get there, I think there's some flickering images in this video. Nothing too serious, but anyone with strong photosensitivity might want to close their eyes for the next few minutes and just enjoy the fantastic music. So here we go.
Don't twist my arm. There's more to this than you and me. Don't twist my arm. I'm almost across this rocky sea. Don't twist my arm. There's more to this than we can see. Don't twist my arm. There's more to life than we can be. And if you know how far I've come, yeah, if you know just where I'll be, don't twist my arm. There's more to this than you and me. Don't twist my arm. I'm almost across this rocky sea. Don't twist my arm. There's more to life than we can see. Don't twist my arm. There's more to this than we can be. And if you know how far I've come, yeah, if you know just where I'll be, don't twist my arm.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Bruce. And if you enjoyed the music, you can get it on Spotify. So look him up.
That's great. Great.
Fantastic.
That was beautiful.
Nice.
Loved it.
Don't twist my arm.
Thank you, everybody.
See, that's why I don't sing.
That wasn't so bad, actually.
Great.
Okay. I'm going to read out a few of the comments because we've been getting some lovely comments on Facebook and in the chat here about what Purple Day means to you. So I'm just going to read out a few from David. Purple Day means to never give up hope and always being empathetic and compassionate to everyone else, no matter how hard it might seem. Love yourself and love everyone else. From Monica, Purple Day is a day to bring awareness to epilepsy, an opportunity to demonstrate community support for those impacted by epilepsy, and an opportunity to learn more about epilepsy. Purple Day is as important to me as a family birthday. The Anthony family, Purple Day means connection and community. Ian says Purple Day means helping others living with epilepsy better face the challenges, knowing they're not in this alone, and giving back to the community after they've helped so much. Nigel says, Purple Day is a day to get the public aware about epilepsy. Azia said, Purple Day is a chance for us to celebrate our favorite purple warrior, Wendy. She teaches us every day that living with epilepsy is part of normal life and that you can thrive and love and being an important part of your community. Patricia keeps it simple. Purple Day means being understood. And Melissa says Purple Day means bringing awareness to the shared and complex experiences of those living with or impacted by epilepsy, recognizing the very real impacts and being inclusive of those with disabilities. To me, it also means being their family and friends impacted and providing and being a strong support system for loved ones. And finally, Nicole says, Purple Day is a day to celebrate us, to educate and share our stories and show that we are not different, we are unique. So thank you everyone for those lovely messages. It's yeah, this is quite the honor to be reading those out. Now let's check out a few more of your Power of Purple Day videos, starting with a message from our friends at Dr. Valente's Research Lab. Roll 'em.
Hi, we're Dr. Tawfiq Valiante's Neuron to Brain Lab, and we are fighting epilepsy through research.
We have the opportunity and privilege to work with people with epilepsy and their brains to
learn about what causes their seizures, starting from the environment all the way down to individual brain cells.
Learn about how their brains create and store memories, and how this process can be improved.
Develop new treatments like vagus nerve stimulation, deep brain stimulation, and music therapy to reduce seizures and improve quality of lives.
Purple Day means a lot to us because it allows us to connect with the people who directly contribute to and directly benefit from our research.
Purple Day allows the epilepsy community to come together and connect.
Everyone from clinicians to researchers, to caretakers, to people with epilepsy can use Purple Day to learn more about the epilepsy community at large.
Happy Purple
Day, everyone.
Where this journey led me, I never thought I would be. This winding road journey led by my epilepsy. It is terrifying and scary not to have control, not knowing the next time I'd go unconscious and fall. The advancements in technology that I got to see showed me I could get control of my epilepsy. I met amazing people who I would have never known if I did not agree to the treatments I was shown. Long hospital stays filled with anxiety and fear, not knowing that I would end up here. I am lucky and feel really blessed that my strength and courage was put to the test. Epilepsy has been an extraordinary journey for me. I'm a strong warrior that accepts whatever is meant to be. Look at what I have done, and look at what I have seen. None of it would have been possible without epilepsy.
Hi everyone, my name is Marlene Wrong and I'm a graduate student in adult epilepsy research. I've always known that neurology is fascinating to me, but I never thought I'd be inspired to get into epilepsy research until it touched my life personally. And immediately I wanted to take a deep dive into learning more. And since then, as I've pursued this graduate degree as a researcher, I've had the great pleasure of meeting and being guided by and empowered by so many inspiring scientists, patient advocates, and families. Purple Day to me is a symbol of how far we've come in terms of epilepsy research, awareness, and the wonderful supportive community that has been built. But it's also a symbol of the continued passion and effort towards effective therapies and treatments, as well as tackling stigma associated with epilepsy. I'm proud to contribute to those advancements and be a member of this community.
Hello, my name is Nigel, and I have epilepsy. Purple Day is on March 26th. I see Purple Day as a way to get the public aware of epilepsy. We can use Purple Day to educate the public on epilepsy because when someone has a seizure, the public is usually scared and does not know what to do. On Purple Day, we need to inform people about medical discrimination happening with epilepsy. The media should get involved because they have the best ability to notify the public that Purple Day is on March 26th. The more everyone talks about epilepsy, the less people living with the condition have to fear discrimination, worry about receiving improper first aid, or keeping the epilepsy hidden in the shadows. Please show your support by wearing purple on any day of the year, especially on March 26th. Please make a donation to help people suffering from epilepsy. Thank you.
Wendy, what is epilepsy?
So epilepsy is a condition where people have seizures and some fall on the ground, some stand up, some stare. It's losing awareness of your situation. You don't know what you were doing before it happened.
What does it feel like to have a seizure?
It feels like I get into this dark tunnel and with lots of headaches, and soon after I need to sleep it off.
Wendy, is epilepsy contagious like coronavirus?
No, it's not. See, I can hug you and kiss you and you don't touch it.
Welcome back. In our next segment, we have Isabella D'Souza here trying to raise awareness about epilepsy for March 26th, which is Purple Day. Now, if you don't mind, I have a few questions to ask you. What does Purple Day mean to you?
Well, when I hear Purple Day, I think of a day to celebrate epilepsy and to think of it in a positive way. In fact, actually, I had my first seizure just a few weeks before Purple Day in 2016. So not only is it a day for me to celebrate epilepsy, but it also reminds me that I had another successful year without letting epilepsy stop me.
Now, would you say that epilepsy was a good thing for you then?
Well, of course, epilepsy can be difficult, and it can be really difficult to cope with at some points. But when I think about it, if I hadn't been diagnosed with epilepsy, I wouldn't have been able to meet the amazing Epilepsy Toronto community or any of my best friends that I have today. So, in all honesty, I would say that in my case, the pros did outweigh the cons.
Well, those are some really nice things to say, but unfortunately that is all the time we have for today. So now everybody, let's give a round of applause to Isabella and have a good rest of your night.
My name is Sally Walker-Hideki. I'm a filmmaker, and I created a film this past year that was selected by Toronto Queer Film Festival called Foreign Ages about having epilepsy. It's an attempt to portray the experience of a complex partial seizure in the temporal lobe, which is what I have. It's online at the TorontoQueerFilmFest.com. I wanted to make this film to be able to portray the experience from inside the perspective of the person having the seizure, because I don't experience it from the outside. I'm really proud of it and a little nervous for people to see it, but I'm excited to be able to share work that I could only do because people take good care of me and understand who I am, and I would love to be able to have more and more people understand so that other people aren't feeling alone and don't have to combat as much ignorance or stigma or isolation and loneliness, because I know that's such a huge part of the experience of having epilepsy. And thankfully we have Purple Day. We can gather. Happy Purple Day. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Hi, I'm Leah. I have epilepsy. I wear purple for me and for all. The other people who have epilepsy, my team Leah had helped to raise money for Toronto Epilepsy. Purple Day is people coming together as friends. We're no different than other people. I'm Ray, I'm Ruth, I am who I meant to be. This is me. Thank you guys, love you.
Hi, this is Gavin and he battles epilepsy. We're making this video for my son Gavin. He's 13 years old and battles epilepsy with 4 different medications twice a day and still having 5 to 10 seizures a day. You want to show them your car? He's a nonverbal and has a severe intellectual disability. And we do the walk for him every year. This is his sister Maya.
Hi, I love Gavin. Gavin is special to us.
What Purple Day means to us. means raising awareness for everyone battling with seizures and epilepsy disorders.
Are we back? We are back. Now, there was some beautiful stories told there and some fantastic information. A lot of the classic questions got answered there that people with epilepsy get asked. But there was one question missing. One of the questions that I think everyone watching this who has experience with epilepsy will have been asked at some point, and that is, can somebody with epilepsy balance 4 glasses on the blade of a knife held in their mouth? I think we've all been asked this. Just go with this, okay? I think we've all been asked this, so let's attempt to answer it. Glass. I am, if you haven't realized at this point, the person with epilepsy who's going to be attempting to do this. And if it works, once again, I expect clapping and cheering. Again, if it doesn't work, I expect clapping and cheering.
Wobbly, it's shaking.
Okay, here we go.
This is the most common question I get about epilepsy.
I tend to get asked that every day.
It's perhaps the most common question.
Every day.
Oh, yes.
And one of the misconceptions about epilepsy is that somebody with epilepsy cannot balance 4 glasses on the... I'll just get on with it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
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 Oh my God.
Oh my
Well, it's
goodness.
shaking.
Yeah, there's some clapping, there's some cheering.
Wow.
There it is.
Wow.
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 You didn't have glue on them, did you?
You sure they weren't glued together?
Yeah, are you sure you weren't glued?
I think they were glued.
Yeah, as if I was that smart to think about doing that. There we go. So, moving swiftly along, let me just adjust my camera. I would like now to introduce you to Natalie. Natalie is the mother of Bryn, who is a 5-year-old living with a rare genetic epilepsy. Are you there, Natalie? Yay! I can see you. There you are. How you doing, Natalie? Happy Purple Day. Oh, you are muted.
Happy Purple Day.
There we go. So, can you tell us a little bit about Bryn and her epilepsy?
Yeah, so Bryn started having seizures when she was 6 weeks old. She has a condition called CDKL5 deficiency disorder. It's a rare disease and it affects 1 in 40 to 70,000 births. So one of the hallmark symptoms of CDKL5 is intractable early onset seizures. So that's sort of the piece that most people, as soon as they've tried a handful of medications with no result, then they start the genetic testing with CDKL5 in mind. She also is nonverbal. She can't walk or talk. She has gastrointestinal issues and breathing difficulties and the full gamut of fun. So
that's the correct medical terminology there, the full gamut of fun. What's your experience being as Bryn's caregiver?
It's a full-time job for sure. She requires help with every aspect of her daily life. But our family definitely feels like the seizures are the most difficult aspect of her condition. A big piece of it is that they're constant. She's having them every day. And they range anywhere between 5 minutes in length up to 10 to 12 minutes. And they're just unpredictable. Unfortunately, excuse me, I gotta just turn off her pump here. The joys of live. Yeah, so they're just, it's unpredictable for her. She doesn't have anything that triggers them. She doesn't have any sort of, there's nothing that you can see in her that she can communicate to you that she has one coming on. And so it's really disruptive to our family life because, you know, we'll be out doing things with the kids and then all the attention shifts over to caring for her and making sure she's looked after. And it's also, you know, quite uncomfortable at times because people do not always respond positively. And so it makes it difficult when we're in public, which appears to be her favorite place to have them. So
what do you wish people in the general public knew and understood about your daughter's disorder?
I think I mean, seizures to people who aren't used to seeing them are scary. They're even scary for us, and we've seen her have thousands. But I think perhaps that adults treated her the same way that children do. We've noticed that when she's at the park or if she's at school, she has a seizure and the kids all just gravitate towards her and they talk to her and, you know, they're touching her and making sure she's okay and reassuring her and asking us questions. Whereas adults seem to have the opposite reaction. They tend to withdraw and look away and, you know, she's cleared a couple airports pretty quickly by having seizures. So I wish that people felt more inclined to approach and, you know, to have a little bit more compassion because they're scary, but they're scary for all of us, including Bryn. So.
Yeah. Just to wrap things up, we're asking everyone this and you seem like the perfect person to ask. What does Purple Day mean to you?
Purple Day for us is an opportunity to create awareness about epilepsy and to give people a chance to ask questions and to be curious. And we have found we're really open with Bryn and with her story. And we found that by educating people and having those questions answered, there does come a lot of compassion and kindness. So this is a great opportunity to just shout it from the rooftops and get everybody on board.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for joining us. Happy Purple Day.
Happy Purple Day.
Now, our next featured artist is Jen Simpson, lead singer of the Toronto band Neon Bloom. We're going to learn a little about her through a previously shot interview. Then we're going to see the video that she and her band created especially for this live stream. And then Jen will join us here live. Check it out.
My name is Jen Simpson, and I'm a musician in a Toronto-based band called Neon Bloom. I've been performing and writing and making music for almost 20 years now. It's been a long time. Prior to that, I was living in New York. I'd moved there with my husband at the time, and we were in a band. We would play shows and we were trying to start a life there, and I got my green card, and I also got very sick at that point. I'd been having health issues for a while leading up to that, and it seemed to just escalate, and then I started to have very noticeable, more typical types of seizures, and that once it started, it just kept gathering momentum to the point where I was having multiple seizures a day. I couldn't work. I ended up having to stop playing shows. I was coming back to Canada to do an MRI. I got to the airport and I was so weak at this point most of the time that I couldn't reliably stand or carry things for any length of time. So even going through the airport, I had to go in one of the wheelchairs that they provide you with. So someone had to come and help me get through security, and then I had another seizure. And then they didn't want to let me on the airplane. I can't even imagine what I seemed like to everybody. But this one woman who was walking on, she stopped and she stood up for me, and she said she would be liable for me. And so they let her, she just didn't sit with her husband. She sat beside me. So they let me go on the plane because of her. And then I was also destitute. I had about $20 and a backpack. I didn't have a cell phone that worked. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have any of the things that we just often hear, and for myself now at this point, take for granted. And it's very difficult to start over from that. I was still very sick, but I was doing a little bit better, doing just well enough to literally crawl into enrollment services at the University of Toronto. I was enrolled at the school, and they were very, very good about helping me. My aunt let me live with her, and I couldn't have done it without her help, and my parents as well. And Scott, I'm so emotional. So this is Joe, and we met also because I was enrolled at the university. We met through a student who was being mentored by him, and he insisted that we meet. And he didn't, I don't know why, but he just thought we really had to meet and we would get along really well. So eventually we met up and we had a really great conversation. We hit it off. One of the first times we were together, we went and got ice cream, and all of a sudden I dropped it and couldn't walk.
I caught her. So we eventually fell in love.
Yeah.
And then we got married just in August.
This August. So
yeah.
It's been since the worst point. It's been 5.5 years, and yeah, I'm having seizures about once a month. They're predictable, so I know I can anticipate. Yeah, I can anticipate when they're coming. I can sort of plan around that. I have days where my energy is low, but it's not seizure type of activity or anything like that. When I started feeling a bit better, I looked around and I met the bass player in our band, Fred, and so we met up and we had a lot of musical similarities and goals and everything. So we ended up reaching out and we found Simon and Chris, the guitarist, keyboardist, and the drummer, and we all just kind of hit it off and solidified into a band. And yeah, they've been amazing. They've had to deal with my seizures and practice and on stage, which is probably, not very fun for them, and they've been very, very sweet and very understanding about it. I thought I would never be able to make music again, and now I am.
Yay, Jen!
Now we can unmute.
Amazing.
Yay!
Good job.
Or we can do
Amazing.
this.
Very good.
I'm clapping in sign language.
Awesome. Tremendous.
That was amazing.
Lovely stuff. Jen,
Hello.
I've lost your video.
Oh.
There you are.
Okay.
Hello again. So happy Purple Day, obviously.
Yeah.
So that video that we saw of you and your husband, that was shot last year before COVID properly hit. So how's your year been? Have you been able to make music? And
It's been very difficult. We've done a few of those live videos, which is obviously not the same as in person, but we've been we kept going with it. We actually wrote and recorded and put out a 4-song EP this year. Over the past year, we wrote and recorded from our own homes. So we would send tracks back and forth and try to record ourselves and mix it ourselves and do everything. So we put that out. Kept us very busy, which is the main thing, I think, to just keep connected and keep doing something. Yeah. It's hard to not be able to perform, obviously. So yeah, I can imagine your feeling.
So you mentioned in the video that your band has been in the situation where you've had seizures in rehearsals and on stage. So tell us about that, because I've been in slightly similar situations. But what's that like for you and your band?
Well, I guess the first time it happened, they knew about it intellectually. I explained that I have epilepsy, what to do, but experientially, they weren't really prepared. Like, it was a shock, I think, the first time it happened at a show, especially, and it caused quite a bit of a mess. Luckily, it was near the end of the set, but I lay down on the ground, which I do anyway sometimes, just to perform, or if I'm tired, and then I'll get back up and keep singing. But I didn't get up, and I had a seizure. And then eventually it was like, it's not just the band, it's everyone in the bar, in the venue is getting concerned. Some people get upset, and it turns into a real mess. So after that, I was like, I have to just be really way more open about the fact that I have epilepsy. People should just know it. It's something I shouldn't feel any way about it. So I've been very vocal about it from then on, and it's worked a lot better. But the guys, they're very, very good about it. Like, they know now to like create space, keep people back, cut the set short. If it looks like I'm not feeling so well, we might just cut out 2 songs and end before something can happen. And yeah, and then in rehearsal space, it's easier. We have a definite protocol in place. I usually get a warning, so I'll lie down on the ground, and then they remove any objects from nearby. They keep me on my side. They put a pillow or a sweater or coat under my head, and we just wait it out. They turn the lights down, because I get quite photosensitive at times. So yeah, just keep things quiet and dark and let it happen.
It seems to me that's one of we talk about awareness as this kind of vague thing, but I think that's a perfect example of how awareness means that we shouldn't be scared to tell people about it, and people should be open to hearing about it and establishing, as you say, protocols and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're asking everyone. I'm gonna wrap this up by asking you, what does Purple Day mean to you?
I would say it means creating awareness and destigmatization, and just really trying to normalize epilepsy and integrate it into everyday life, which is how it should be.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us, Jen. Keep making music. Okay, where are we? Oh, okay. So now it's time to take a look at a few more Power of Purple Day videos. And when we come back, we will be awarding someone $1,000.
It's about epilepsy. About 1 in 100 Canadians have epilepsy. Epilepsy is contagious. Epilepsy has no cure, but there are treatment options to help people become seizure-free. Everyone with epilepsy has seizures triggered by flashing lights. There are many different triggers for seizures, and everyone with epilepsy has different ones. Only children are diagnosed with epilepsy. Anyone at any age can be diagnosed with epilepsy. There is only one type of seizure. Someone can experience more than one type of seizure. You should restrain someone if you see them having a seizure. Someone can swallow their tongue during a seizure, so you should put something in their mouth to stop it from happening. Someone with epilepsy can drive as long as they meet certain governmental criteria. Seizures only happen when someone is awake. Seizures are not something to make fun of. Purple Day is on March 26th, and it's a day to spread awareness about epilepsy.
I'm Charlie. Thank you for tuning in. Our lead story today is the 2021 Purple Day event. Here's Shannon with an exclusive interview.
I'm here with Leaf, and I want to know, what is Purple Day?
Purple Day was started by Cassidy and Megan to get the world to know about epilepsy and to bring people who live with epilepsy together as a strong community. I love it because we get to rock purple all day long.
I love purple too. What do you do on Purple Day?
My family is watching the live Purple Day event and sharing facts about epilepsy on social media. We're really hopeful and excited for the person Purple Day in Purple Day next year.
Terrific. Back to you, Charlie.
I'm joined now by Michael to tell us why Purple Day is so important.
Thank you. Purple Day is a chance to teach people about epilepsy, to hear about all of the amazing things from the past year, and to look forward to the next year. It's also a chance for us to thank the amazing people at Epilepsy Toronto for all of the work that they do as educators, public event organizers, and advocates, and so much more.
That's all the time we have for you today, but thanks for joining us on the Daily Lily News. Let's have a great Purple Day!
While I don't personally know someone with epilepsy, it's much more common than we would think. About 1 in every 100 Canadians has epilepsy. You can't tell if someone has epilepsy, and many live with the condition in fear because of the social stigma endured by many individuals with the condition. You may feel alone, but you are not alone. With the power of purple, we wear it together on March 26th to begin a discussion about epilepsy, educate the public, and break down the stigma. This is the power of purple.
What does Purple Day mean to me? So, I like to think of Purple Day and hope as synonymous with each other. Hope being helping out people with epilepsy, just like with Epilepsy Toronto. I always want to think of joy and compassion as opposed to life filled with stigma and discrimination, which unfortunately is what happens in many cases for people with epilepsy. So showing that people are not alone, people can fight, people can do all these things if they work together. That's one of the basic things. That's one of the better things. I want to show that people are differently abled as opposed to disabled. All those things, all those factors are what epilepsy and Purple Day means to me.
So why Purple Day is important to me? It is important to me because it is the one day of the year that the general public will actually know what epilepsy is all about. And it is the day that the epilepsy community comes together. So I just wanted to say happy Purple Day to everybody.
Hi, my name is Kara, and Purple Day is a big day for me. It means embracing who I am, honoring myself, and reclaiming parts of me that I had denied and repressed for so long. Previously, I tried to hide my epilepsy as much as possible, It made me different. I hated it. I didn't want it to be a part of my identity. And this makes sense when you look at historically, epileptics were outcasts in society. They were thought of as contagious. People were told to stay away from them. They were locked up in mental hospitals. Even just 100 years ago, I couldn't have gotten married or had kids because of my condition. No wonder there is so much stigma. But today is about owning who I am and celebrating that and finding power within that. And I'm so proud of myself to be in this place of self-acceptance where I no longer feel burdened by shame on the daily, and I choose to show up every day. I am an epilepsy warrior, and thank you so much for celebrating with me.
Fantastic. Now, the first video in that montage was actually from the Epilepsy Toronto's new TikTok account. So if you're a TikTok user, be sure to check that out for more fun videos from the fabulous Kira, who is young and understands TikTok. Before we announce the winner of the $1,000, we're going to hear a few more comments from the live chat. There's some fantastic messages we've been sent here, so I'm going to do my best to get through as many as we can. Michelle says, Purple Day means the world to me. I am so proud to celebrate this day every year. I will forever be an advocate and build awareness in the workplace, community, and the world to build awareness. Purple Day shows how it's a natural part of life to have to live with an invisible disability. It's all about support from family and friends, Epilepsy Toronto's contributions, and coming out of the shadows. I am a survivor, says Michelle. Chris says, happy Purple Day. We are not different. We are unique. Stephanie says, I am a social worker at Epilepsy Toronto, and I've had the privilege of hearing so many of our members' epilepsy stories. It is these stories and the strengths and resilience that Epilepsy Toronto members show daily that has helped me to learn more about and accept epilepsy in my own life. I came to Epilepsy Toronto with the hope of being able to help people with epilepsy, but in doing so was given the greatest gift of all, self-acceptance. This is a very long way of saying that when I think of Purple Day, I think of all the incredible people I've met and how they have changed me, and I feel truly grateful. Thank you for that, Stephanie. Kerry says, Purple Day is the day to show support for all epilepsy warriors and research. I've had epilepsy for 27 of my 52 years. We are now working on deep brain stimulator to try and stop my seizures. I've donated my brain for research to help when I'm gone. Couple more. Shelley says, Purple Day is a day for those of us who don't have epilepsy to learn from those who do. Thank you, Epilepsy Toronto, for providing us with these insights. Awareness is so important. Larissa says, Purple Day means that we are recognized for us and who we are. And finally, Mary says, Purple Day is relatively new to me, despite having epilepsy and being in my 70s. My father, Ron, was one of the founders of Epilepsy Toronto in an effort to provide support for parents of people living with epilepsy. I'm thrilled with the exposure Purple Day and all the work of those at Epilepsy Toronto has brought to epilepsy and all they are able to offer those with epilepsy. Thank you for that, Mary. So it is now time to give away some cold, hard cash. I feel like an awful game show host. What have you done to me? Right, we have literally an actual hat, because I'm the kind of person that has literal actual hats in, because with this haircut, you know, you're going to want hats. And here, look, see, look at that. So I'm not looking. We have one of it. Yep, that's one. The winner of the $1,000 is, do we have a Wendy Morris? Yay, there she is. Unmute yourself, Wendy Morris. I see you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Oh my God.
Happy Purple Day.
Thank you.
Are you in Toronto?
Yes.
Lovely. Give my love to Toronto. If I'd won, I would have spent it all in the Lakeview restaurant because I'm a sucker for that place.
Okay.
Okay, we are sliding elegantly to the end of this live stream. Before we come to the end of this Power of Purple Day live stream, and do we think I've said the word purple enough times in the last hour and a half? No, apparently not. Purple Day is not over yet. Haha. There will be a Light the Night live stream happening tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance Facebook page, featuring live streams of landmarks across Canada being lit up purple for epilepsy. Canadian landmarks, as far as I know, is funnel cakes. I think that's funnel cakes. And a very special guest, Cassidy Megan herself, will be appearing as part of our event, so don't miss it. That's at the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance Facebook page. I'd like to thank all of the artists and contributors to today's live stream and all of the people who submitted videos to the contest. We're sorry we couldn't show them all. Also, the organisers, Epilepsy Toronto, EpLink, Krembil Research Labs, as well as the Ontario Brain Institute for their support of this event. But most of all, of course, I'd like to thank each and every single one of you out there for tuning in and celebrating with us. My name is Mat Ricardo. Hopefully I'll see you again, but until then, happy Purple Day.
Happy Purple Day.
Happy Purple Day,
Happy Purple Day.
Purple Day. Happy Purple Day, everyone.
Happy Purple Day, everyone.
Purple Day.
Congratulations, Wendy.
Congratulations, Wendy.
Congratulations, Wendy.
Thank you.